In the Grand Hall of the Galactic Council, the air was thick with anticipation. This was where the galaxy's most powerful leaders gathered to discuss and decide the fate of countless worlds. The hall was a marvel of technology, with holographic displays floating in mid-air and a huge screen showing the latest updates from across the galaxy. Today, the Council was about to review Earth's new military tactics. Representatives from Earth, dressed in crisp uniforms, stood before the Council members. These representatives were nervous but held their heads high. They knew that the tactics they were about to present were designed to look simple and outdated. They were meant to be a smokescreen for something much more sophisticated hidden beneath the surface. As the presentation began, the Earth representatives showcased a series of tactical plans that seemed to be old-fashioned and rudimentary. The tactics included basic maneuvers, simple strategies, and straightforward techniques. The Council members watched with raised eyebrows, struggling to hide their smirks. Counselor Zorak, a tall and imposing figure with blue skin and piercing yellow eyes, was the first to speak. "Is this a joke?" he asked, his voice dripping with disdain. "These tactics are so outdated they might as well have been used by our ancestors." The other Council members murmured in agreement. Counselor Lyra, a sharp-eyed alien with green skin and an air of superiority, chuckled. "I've seen better strategies in the training exercises of our youngest cadets. It's almost laughable that you would present these as a serious military plan." The representatives from Earth tried to remain composed. They knew that their true plan was far more complex and effective, but they had chosen to present only the surface layer. They exchanged uneasy glances but continued their presentation with unwavering professionalism. As the session continued, the Council members made no effort to hide their amusement. They openly mocked the tactics, making jokes and snide comments. "Are these supposed to be some kind of primitive art?" Counselor Keitra asked, her voice filled with sarcastic laughter. "I didn't realize Earth's military was still in the Stone Age." The laughter in the room grew louder. The Earth representatives felt their faces flush with embarrassment, but they maintained their composure. They knew that this public mockery was part of their plan. The more the Council underestimated them, the better. Back on Earth, military leaders and strategists watched the meeting via holographic feed. They saw the Council's reactions and heard the mocking comments. While it was painful to watch, they were not disheartened. They knew their tactics were designed to be deceptive. General Roberts, the head of Earth's tactical division, looked at his team with a determined expression. "This is exactly what we wanted," he said. "The more they laugh at us now, the more surprised they will be later. We have hidden our true capabilities, and soon enough they will learn not to underestimate us." The team nodded in agreement. They had been working in secret, developing advanced strategies and technology that were far beyond what the Galactic Council had seen. The tactics presented today were deliberately simple, a part of a larger, intricate plan designed to mislead and deceive. As the Council session ended, the Earth representatives left the hall with their heads held high. Despite the ridicule, they felt a sense of satisfaction. They had played their part in the grand deception, and now the Council believed Earth's military was weak and outdated. The Galactic Council, meanwhile, was still laughing and joking about the primitive tactics they had just witnessed. They were confident in their superiority and did not expect Earth to pose any real threat. Little did they know, their mockery was about to become their greatest mistake. As the representatives returned to their quarters, they prepared for the next phase of their plan. They knew that the Galactic Council's overconfidence would work in their favor. The real tactics, the ones hidden from view, were ready to be put into action. The stage was set, and the first move had been made. The Galactic Council's mockery would soon turn into astonishment as they discovered the true nature of Earth's hidden strategies. In the quiet halls of Earth's most secretive military facility, the true heart of Earth's tactical brilliance lay hidden. The facility was far from the prying eyes of the Galactic Council. It was a place where Earth's top strategists and engineers worked in secrecy, away from the spotlight and the ridicule. Inside the facility, General Roberts and his team were hard at work. They were in a high-tech control room filled with screens and holographic displays. The room buzzed with activity as the team reviewed simulations and data from their latest operations. The atmosphere was tense but focused, a stark contrast to the mockery they had faced from the Galactic Council. The Earth representatives' simple tactics, which had been dismissed as outdated, were only a small part of a much larger and more intricate plan. Behind the scenes, the real strategy was being developed and tested. The team was working on advanced tactics that used a combination of innovative technology and psychological warfare. "Let's run another simulation," General Roberts said, his voice steady and commanding. "We need to ensure that every detail of our plan is flawless." The team nodded and began setting up the simulation. The screens flickered to life, displaying a virtual battlefield. Earth's advanced tactics were put to the test against various alien scenarios. The simulations showed how these tactics could adapt to different situations, using unexpected methods and surprising strategies. One of the key elements of the plan was to use deception. The seemingly simple tactics presented to the Galactic Council were designed to mislead and confuse. Earth's real tactics involved complex maneuvers, advanced technology, and a deep understanding of alien psychology. "Look at this," Lieutenant Evans said, pointing to a screen showing a particularly effective maneuver. "By using these tactics, we can exploit weaknesses in the enemy's defense that they don't even know they have." The room fell silent as everyone studied the data. The simulations demonstrated how Earth's tactics could turn the tide of battle by using clever tricks and psychological pressure. The advanced strategies were not only about fighting, but about outsmarting the opponent. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council remained oblivious to the hidden genius behind Earth's tactics. The Council continued to view Earth's military as primitive and unimportant. They were focused on their own advanced technologies and strategies, confident that they had nothing to fear from a supposedly outdated opponent. As the days passed, Earth's hidden strategies were refined and perfected. The team worked tirelessly, knowing that their success depended on keeping their true capabilities a secret. They were aware that any hint of their real tactics could compromise their plan. One evening, as the simulation results were reviewed, General Roberts looked around at his team with a sense of pride. "We're ready," he said. "Everything we've worked for has led to this moment. The Galactic Council's mockery has only strengthened our resolve. We're about to show them just how wrong they were." The team cheered, their spirits lifted by the knowledge that their hard work was about to pay off. They knew that their success hinged on the element of surprise and their ability to execute their plan flawlessly. Outside the facility, the Galactic Council continued their routine, still laughing and dismissing Earth's tactics. They had no idea that the seemingly simple strategies were part of a grand deception. The more they underestimated Earth, the more vulnerable they became to the hidden genius that lay in wait. As Earth's military prepared for the next phase of their plan, they knew that the time for deception was almost over. The Galactic Council would soon face the full force of Earth's advanced tactics, and the results would be far from what they had expected. The stage was set for a dramatic turn of events, and Earth was ready to reveal its true strength. The Galactic Council sat in their high-tech chamber, reviewing reports from various sectors. The meeting was supposed to be routine, but recent updates from the front lines had everyone on edge. The Council had received troubling news about Earth's tactics that had been so openly mocked. Counselor Zorak, the most influential member, scanned through the latest report with a furrowed brow. "This doesn't make sense," he said, his voice heavy with concern. Earth's simple tactics seemed to be working better than expected. Counselor Lyra, who had previously dismissed Earth's methods as outdated, leaned forward. "What are you saying?" she asked. "Are they actually winning battles?" Zorak nodded, showing a series of data points on the large screen. The reports indicated that Earth's forces were outperforming expectations in various skirmishes. "These results are inconsistent with the tactics we saw. It's as if their methods are more effective than we thought." The council members exchanged uneasy glances. The more they looked into it, the more perplexed they became. Earth's tactics, initially seen as primitive, were now showing surprising success on the battlefield. The council couldn't ignore the growing evidence of Earth's tactical prowess. On Earth, General Roberts and his team watched the same reports with satisfaction. They had been preparing for this moment, knowing that their hidden tactics would soon be tested. The general's face lit up as he saw the data from the latest simulations align with their expectations. "Look at this," General Roberts said, pointing to a screen showing a successful operation. "Our tactics are working exactly as planned. The Galactic Council is starting to see what we're capable of, even though they don't yet realize the full extent." Lieutenant Evans, who had been instrumental in developing the tactics, nodded in agreement. It's working perfectly. The more they see these results, the more they'll doubt their own intelligence. They're starting to question their assumptions about us. As Earth's forces continued to achieve victories, the Galactic Council became increasingly alarmed. They ordered a deeper investigation into the effectiveness of Earth's tactics. Field agents and analysts were dispatched to gather more information and determine how Earth's military was managing to outmaneuver their advanced strategies. Meanwhile, on the battlefield, Earth's tactics were causing chaos among their enemies. The deceptive strategies that had been mocked were proving to be highly effective in disrupting enemy plans. Earth's forces were using psychological warfare and unexpected maneuvers to gain the upper hand. One particular battle stood out. An alien fleet, confident in its superior technology, faced off against Earth's forces. What should have been a straightforward victory for the aliens turned into a surprising defeat. Earth's tactics, which seemed so simplistic, had turned the tide of the battle. The news of this victory spread quickly through the Galactic Council's ranks. Counselor Keetra, who had been one of the most vocal critics of Earth's tactics, slammed her fist on the table in frustration. "How is this possible? We underestimated them and now we're paying the price." The Council realized that their initial dismissal of Earth's tactics had been a grave mistake. They began to reassess their strategy, understanding that their previous confidence had blinded them to the true capabilities of their opponent. Back at Earth's command center, the mood was one of cautious optimism. The team knew that their success was just the beginning. The real challenge was still ahead, fully revealing their hidden tactics and ensuring that the Galactic Council was caught off guard. General Roberts gathered his team for a briefing. "We've achieved significant victories, but this is only the start. We need to remain vigilant and continue to use our tactics to their full potential. The Galactic Council is still underestimating us, and we must capitalize on that." The team nodded, ready for the next phase of their plan. They knew that the element of surprise was their greatest weapon, and they were determined to use it to their advantage. As the Galactic Council grappled with the unexpected consequences of their mockery, Earth's forces prepared for the next steps in their strategic game. The Galactic Council's overconfidence had become their weakness, and Earth was poised to exploit it fully. The Galactic Council's chamber was buzzing with an uneasy energy. The reports of Earth's unexpected victories had shaken the Council to its core. Counselor Zorak had called an emergency meeting to address the growing threat. As the Council members gathered, their faces were a mix of concern and curiosity. The once dismissed tactics of Earth were now at the center of their attention. Counselor Lyra, who had laughed off Earth's strategies as primitive, now looked worried. "We need to understand how Earth's tactics are outperforming our expectations," she said, her tone serious. Counselor Zorak nodded. "We've had several defeats, and our agents are reporting that Earth's strategies are much more complex than we thought. We need to find out the truth." The Council decided to review all the data and intelligence they had on Earth's tactics. They called in their top analysts and field operatives to present their findings. The room was filled with tension as the reports were displayed on the large holographic screen. One of the analysts, a sharp-eyed alien named Goran, stepped forward. "We've analyzed the recent battles and found something unusual. Earth's tactics, while appearing simple, are actually a facade. Behind them is a level of strategy and technology that we didn't anticipate." The Council members exchanged confused glances. "What do you mean by a facade?" Counselor Katra asked. "Are you saying that the tactics we saw were not the real ones?" Goran nodded. "Exactly. The tactics presented to us were designed to mislead. Earth's real strategies are much more sophisticated. We've uncovered evidence of advanced technology and psychological methods that were hidden from us." The room fell silent as the gravity of the revelation sank in. The Galactic Council had underestimated Earth's capabilities, and now they were facing the consequences. The seemingly outdated tactics were just a smokescreen for a much more formidable approach. Counselor Zorak slammed his fist on the table, his frustration evident. "So we've been tricked. Earth's simple tactics were a ploy to hide their true strength. We've been blindsided." The Council members began to discuss how to respond to this new information. The realization that Earth's tactics were more advanced than they had believed forced them to reconsider their approach. The confidence that had once driven their decisions was now replaced by a sense of urgency and caution. Meanwhile, on Earth, General Roberts and his team were closely following the Council's reactions. They had anticipated that the Galactic Council would eventually uncover the truth, but they had hoped to gain more time before it happened. In the command center, General Roberts gathered his team. "The Galactic Council has figured out part of the truth," he said. "They're starting to understand that our tactics were a deception, but we're still in a strong position. They haven't yet seen the full extent of our capabilities." Lieutenant Evans, who had been closely involved in developing Earth's strategies, nodded. "We need to stay one step ahead. The Council's realization could prompt them to change their tactics. We must be ready for their next move." The team worked quickly to adapt their strategies. They knew that revealing their hidden tactics had put them on the Council's radar, but they were determined to use this opportunity to their advantage. The next phase of their plan involved reinforcing their position and preparing for any countermeasures the Galactic Council might deploy. Back in the Galactic Council's chamber, the members were busy strategizing. They knew they had to act quickly to address the new threat. The realization that Earth had been hiding its true strength forced them to rethink their approach. They began to formulate a new plan to counter Earth's advanced tactics. Counselor Zorak took charge of the situation. "We need to adjust our strategy and prepare for a more intense conflict. Earth has shown that it can surprise us, and we must be ready for anything." As the Council members worked to adapt their plans, the stage was set for a new chapter in the conflict. Earth's revelation of its hidden tactics had changed the dynamics of the galactic power struggle. The Galactic Council's overconfidence had been shattered, and the true battle was about to begin. The Galactic Council's strategy room was now a hive of intense activity. The Council members had spent days reworking their plans in response to the unexpected strength of Earth's tactics. There was a sense of urgency in the air as they prepared for what they hoped would be their final push to regain control. Counselor Zorak paced back and forth, his blue skin glowing under the room's lights. He was deep in thought, trying to devise a strategy that would neutralize Earth's surprising effectiveness. "We've underestimated them before," he said, his voice filled with determination. "We can't afford to make the same mistake again." Counselor Lyra, now fully focused on the task, suggested, "We should use a multi-pronged approach. We'll need to engage Earth on multiple fronts, applying pressure from all directions. Their tactics might be sophisticated, but if we overwhelm them, we can force them into a defensive position." The Council quickly agreed. They began coordinating a massive campaign that would involve simultaneous attacks on key Earth installations and strategic points. Their goal was to disrupt Earth's operations and force them into a position where their tactics would be less effective. Meanwhile, back on Earth, General Roberts and his team were aware of the Galactic Council's increased activity. They knew that the Council's response would be significant and that their adversaries were now more determined than ever. In the Earth Command Center, General Roberts gathered his team for an urgent briefing. "The Galactic Council is preparing a major offensive," he said. "We need to be ready for a coordinated attack. Our previous tactics worked because they underestimated us. Now we need to adapt and turn the tables." Lieutenant Evans nodded in agreement. "We've prepared for this. Our hidden strategies are still in play, and we've been working on new countermeasures to address the Council's multi-pronged approach." The team sprang into action, deploying advanced defensive systems and reinforcing their key positions. They set up traps and counterattacks designed to exploit the Council's vulnerabilities and create opportunities for their forces. As the Galactic Council launched their offensive, Earth's defenses held firm. The coordinated attacks from multiple fronts initially caused confusion, but Earth's forces were ready. They responded with precision, using their advanced tactics to counter each assault effectively. One notable battle took place near Earth's outer colonies. The Galactic Council's fleet arrived in force, expecting an easy victory. Instead, they were met with a series of unexpected maneuvers that disrupted their attack plans. Earth's forces, using deceptive tactics, lured the enemy into a carefully planned ambush. The ambush was devastating. The Galactic Council's fleet, caught off guard, suffered heavy losses. The tables had turned, and Earth's forces were now on the offensive. The Galactic Council's overconfidence was quickly giving way to frustration as their meticulously planned attacks failed to achieve the desired results. Counselor Zorak watched the battle reports with growing anxiety. "This isn't going according to plan," he said. "Earth's tactics are more resilient than we anticipated. We need to reassess our strategy immediately." The Council held an emergency meeting to address the rapidly deteriorating situation. They had underestimated Earth's ability to adapt and respond effectively, and their initial success was slipping away. The council members argued and debated, trying to find a solution to regain their advantage. On Earth, General Roberts and his team celebrated their hard-earned victories but knew better than to become complacent. The battle was not yet over, and the Galactic Council was still a formidable opponent. They continued to refine their strategies, ensuring that they were ready for any new moves the Council might make. As Earth's forces continued to gain ground, the Galactic Council was forced to retreat and regroup. The Council's campaign, which had begun with so much confidence, was now faltering. Earth's unexpected resilience and tactical brilliance had turned the tide of the conflict. The Galactic Council was left to grapple with the reality of their situation. Their mockery of Earth's tactics had cost them dearly, and their once unshakable confidence had been replaced by a deep sense of uncertainty. As the conflict continued, Earth's position strengthened. The Galactic Council had learned a hard lesson about underestimating their opponents. The battle was far from over, but Earth's strategic victories had set the stage for a new phase in the galactic struggle. The tables had turned, and the future of the conflict was now uncertain.